So that is simply purely the weapon, because all I did was look at the weapon. The damage to all was 2 less, and if that was accounted for in this stat anyway, then they would not have been 31 to 47. So at least as far as these stats are concerned, oh, they do separate it. It's right there. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I just need to learn how to read. Uh-oh. It just got real. Alright, let's go. Let's go ahead and get this rolling, actually. So, FinalDanashi here, and I, as you can see, decided to try Loop Hero. I've heard a lot about this game, heard a lot of good things about this game. I have not seen too much. I've heard a lot of things, a lot of people highly recommend it. I've seen maybe 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay. Just to kind of get an idea of what this game's about. And based on everything I've seen, it looks like a game I would really like. So I said, alright, let's try it. And I really like the music already. They give you a lot of different options here. Like this was the original font, Pixel. Then they got the high res, was just like normal. And then they got dyslexia friendly, which I don't have dyslexia, so I'm not sure what difference this makes, but it must be the shape of the letters and the spacing somehow helps people with that. So that's really nice that they did that. The options, they got a couple things here. They had this on the CRT shader. It's like I kind of get it gives that old school feel, but I prefer this because it looks a little bit better to me. That's what I'm going with. They have a couple different options here for automatically pausing. And this is default. I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I don't really know what I want yet because I have to just play the game and find out. As you can see, I haven't started. There's no save here. So, yeah, just jump right into it. We'll see if it's right, if the hype's worth it. And I imagine, oof. The stars in the sky are going out one by one. That's everything. I know absolutely nothing about the story. So, okay. Make sure. Yeah, it looks good. What's this? Oh, I guess it's nothing. But no one notices it, and no one can stop it. And it's hard to stop something you don't notice, you know. I get why. That makes sense. I'm racing to the last place where there is still hope. House on a hill, apparently. I need to make it before it is too... Oh. Whoa. What is going on? That is a really cool effect, actually. Sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. Oh, so it's... It's Avengers End Game. Got it. Okay, so this is Thanos. He's snapping his finger. I understand the story completely now. Got it. Okay. There's a little boy here. Just that's what. Oh, there's another person. How many people are here? There's another. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that's a whole family, I guess, or something. There's just that Death Thanos is taken out here. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. That must be us. I'm the protagonist. We are the hero. We are the hero of loops. See the loop? It's Loop Hero. Got it? I get it. There we go. In a place without space, without time, without memories. Where am I? I can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. Okay, so I guess just jump right into it. Perfect. To change between adventure, traveling to the map, and planning stop modes, press the switch or right-click or spacebar. So I guess that just basically means go or stop. It's, you know, play or pause. Continue your journey by changing the game mode. And spacebar. Yep, everything works just like this. My guy looks like a skeleton from like 1980 Nintendo system kind of art style. Very retro. Very retro. I like... Actually, I'm looking at this stream. I look like the person... I didn't do this on purpose, but I look like the armor and everything is suited perfectly, like fit, like I'm the face right there. That's the actual character. But that's... I like that. That's good. Hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall, if such thing as night still even exists without a sky, of course. I saw this just went up. Day progress. Pay attention to the... as they're about to tell me, actually. Pay attention to the thing you were paying attention to. Good job. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Continue your journey by changing the game mode. Alright, so they... Oh, so... Okay, so that enemy popped up. A living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey! I remembered this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. Your memory is going to bring things back? Okay. Traveling, fighting, and most other actions are done automatically. The player cannot affect them directly. And so it's an auto battler. Okay. Let me get this going while they're fighting, since I don't have to. And do the work for me. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's a weapon in the remains of that thing that wasn't fully digested. Alright, well that makes sense. You have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. You're a gamer. Let's go. You think we don't know you play video games? We know you play video games. I think I remember that there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories, or do they belong to that slime? Interesting little thing there. What's this? You can use... Oh, I'm kind of in the way of the text. No, I'm saying them out loud anyway. You can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects to the map. That's what planning mode is for. Actually, no, let me take a quick second and move myself here. There we go. I think that's probably a better spot. Although I might be covering up stats a little bit. Maybe. Nah, I don't want to cover up the game board. So I'll keep myself there. There we go. A little on the fly switching it up. Now people can pause the video if they want to read things if I go too fast or something. Alright, you can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects in the map. That's what planning mode is for. Drag the card to a suitable space to remember the land. So we're going to remember. Okay. Drag the card to a suitable space. Alright, so a grove. Now continue your journey. In other words, hit the space bar. Or any other button that we gave you. End of the day, enemies appear, just like they said. Okay, so far so good. The forest rat wolf. Okay. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few colorful images, and a bit of adrenaline, and everything will be forgotten like a bad dream. That's a weird sentence. Or remember it as a bad... It's good that nobody is listening. Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that realized that was a bad sentence. The game itself recognizes that they can't speak correctly. Got it. Okay. So, this new weapon, Rapier, has the same damage and it has vampirism, so it's just objectively better in every sense of the word, so I'm just going to equip. I can't right-click it? Okay. So I have to click and drag, and my axe just goes away. So... you equip something, but if you replace it, you're not going to be able to switch back and forth. It just goes away. Got it. Okay. You get new items and cards during battle, as you probably already noticed. Some items have unique abilities, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can expect its properties. Equip a new weapon and place a new card on the map to continue. The forest will add plus 1% to hero attack speed. So I can... Oh, okay. So I can't place it here or there. But anywhere else on the map, it's perfectly fine with. What did I just get? Stable wood. A log that somehow managed to keep its structural integrity despite the general chaos. I got a thing. Okay. Rocks. Its magnificent appearance gives you strength, plus 2 HP, and plus 2 more HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. So if I keep getting more and place them next to each other, that's good. Great. So... there was a mountain over there, and here's a forest. The world is just like new. We're done. World's remade. We just need some rocks, patch of forest. We're good. Job done. Let's go home. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. Okay. So we added some passive bonuses to the map. That makes sense. Okay, so some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on. Not right now, though. Just collect them, be happy you have them, and move on with your life. You'll get it later. But that shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, rock and wood, got it. Continue your journey by changing, yeah, just hit the space bar. Go ahead, right click, whatever you gotta do. Alright, so I think I started there, so I think that's one loop. I looped hero, there we go. I think it's time to get some rest. The game itself is a journey on a looped path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp. Either you or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safer to do so. Retreat to the camp by pressing the button. So if this pops up, I'm guessing when you're at, let's call it home base. Oh, actually heals 20%. Oh, so every time you loop, it's just like passing go in Monopoly. Something good happens. Okay. Return to camp, hold, turn on auto, and return by the campfire. Oh, so, okay, if you hold it, got it, okay. Okay, you will keep the two things you got, which was rock and wood, and you'll lose nothing. Great. The thought of leaving the battlefield and going back to your cozy camp has passed through your mind. What a timely idea. The camp is just around the corner. You'll keep all resources. Retreat. That's what I was told to do. I'm a good listener. I'm going to go do that. I listened. It's cold and dark here. A small fire could solve both of these problems. Perfect. Nice place to set up camp. This is when your resources you gather will come in handy. Who would have thought? Oh my god, the things you collected that we told you to collect, they actually mean something. You just have enough wood stones to make a campfire. What a nice coincidence. This game is very aware of itself. Build a campfire using the building function while in camp. Okay. Yep. Build campfire. Hey, look, rock and wood. The hero restores 20% of their max HP upon entering the campfire title. I built a camp. Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. You can now start the first expedition. Or not. Do what you want. I don't care. Do I care? This game, I love its sense of humor already. It's only been 5 minutes. I already love the game just because of that. Alright, click anywhere to complete the tutorial. I can just click. Oh, okay. So, all right, that's it. I've learned everything I need to know. I'm now an expert. And the dark figure that caused all the issues is right there. Okay. So I can go back to the build screen. Apparently, there's a smithy, a herbalist hut, field kitchen, and other things. Cemetery. Ooh, you can build up quite a bit here. A bridge is like towards the top? That's like one of the hardest things to get is a bridge? That must be a heck of a bridge. Okay. So, you're essentially giving yourself building bonuses for yourself. Okay. That's what the main point of that stuff is to make your hero passively stronger. You don't care about combat. You care about making your hero stronger. Your hero takes care of the combat. Interesting. I was just looking at that. This path, everything is wrong. Everything's wrong. But I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. If I need to give up and cry to save the world, I am the worst savior of all. Let's do it. Okay. So that's not running anymore. So it's not safe, I guess. I guess I would lose resources. I'm adventuring. Oh, I can speed up the time. Cool. So there's the action bar, it looks like. And there's the health bar. And it looks like it stopped when I hovered over them. So I think I read that in the options menu somewhere. Yep, perfect. Alright, so I can actually read what they do. They do 3.13 damage. Maybe that's DPS, not necessarily damage. That's a little misleading. I'm not sure. Oh, no, it says attack per second. So it actually does 3.3 damage on every swing. So that's not DPS. Okay. And I guess those are the items it can drop. And those are my current buffs. It doesn't tell me my current health, though. Oh, that's over here. That's why. Gotcha. Alright, so if I click this, This doesn't affect the speed of battles. I was wondering why it didn't look like it didn't do anything. It just affects how fast I go across the board. And then the quick key is tab. Perfect. I'm going to click that on 2 times to kind of help move along, because I can hit the spacebar and stop if I need to. And put on some armor. Perfect. Max HP, 90. That's a decent chunk compared to what my base health is, so. Oh, I should be putting these on the board, actually. I can't stop battle. Interesting. So, stopping battle... Planning does not affect battle. Battles happen regardless. Okay. Unless I'm hovering over them, apparently. Alright, so add vampires to battles on adjacent tiles. I can add enemies? Alright, let me put some rocks down. I'm gonna put down rocks. Perfect. Mountain. It's like a rock, but a really big rock. Plus 5 HP for each adjacent rock and or mountain. Alright, so I'm gonna do that and give myself nice HP bonuses. Perfect. Heals 2 HP at the start of each day. Meadows. Alright, so those are... Regenerating HP is a very nice thing. So every time I put down one of those things, it gives me some kind of item. Which I'm going to be able to, I guess, use to build things that are going to give me more access to more things. I don't know. I'm just going. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going here. Spawn adjacent spot and adjacent tile once each. So I can force certain enemies to spawn. So I don't know if I want to add that many vampires. So maybe just have like here is cool. Alright, let's get this going again. I thought that was gonna spawn a vampire. I guess it's a random chance. Oh wait, maybe what it is it only spawns a vampire if there's an enemy on one of these 2 tiles. I wonder if that's what that is. Yeah, because it says adds vampires to battles. So if there happens to be an enemy on one of these 2 tiles, it'll add a vampire to the battle. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Spawns a skeleton every 3 days. I guess let's try that. Right after camp, because I just healed. That makes sense to me. And I'm guessing the point of wanting enemies is maybe they drop certain items that you want to farm. Oh, I should probably be looking at my items. Ring. Vampirism, I'm guessing must be some kind of lifesteal effect. That's the only thing I'm at. Yeah, because it looks like they're, yeah, siphoning health off their attacks. Yeah, and I have 9%, and it must be... Yeah, because if it was 10%, then 10 damage is 1 health. I'm not quite doing 10 damage, but it must round up. So that makes sense. Plus 2 more HP for every adjacent. Alright, so rocks are just mountains, but mountains are more powerful. So... Oh! I must have landed on the spot with one of the thing I just put down. Back off, human. A vampire! Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it. What, vampires and farmers? What? No more lands, no more flock. Only hundreds of years of emptiness. And hundreds of years of hunger! I'm kind of blocking the vampire a little bit. I guess no matter what, I'm going to be blocking something. Oh well, I just have to accept that. Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep my head straight. Oh, so they're kind of fighting the urge. Got it. What hundreds of years are you talking about? Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands a share. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this crumbled world right. Right! I'm doing this not just for myself, but for everyone. In the name of good. So be grateful for my hard work and just let me bleed you dry. Let me bite your neck until you have no more blood in your body. I'm gonna help the world that way. That's logic. Yes. Don't worry about it, I'm a vampire. Oh, they can evade. They are doing a decent chunk of damage to me. Armor. Oh, it has some kind of damage to reflect property or something? Oh, the 2 must be the level of the item? Okay. Oh, regen. Nice. I need that. And an actual weapon. Let's go. Alright. See, that helped a lot. I think it actually is on the fly as far as my stats. That's cool. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our sentiments to prosper. So vampires were just a normal, everyday occurrence. Okay. But this won't do it all. Now they are just pale shells of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently the blood of other creatures cannot sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures that stand near him are imbued with the power to devour someone else's life. Oh, so they make... It's not just them, they make other creatures. Yep, I was on a tile next to that thing. Gotcha, okay. Oh yeah, I ripped that thing apart now. Okay, hold on. Let me get more of my passive buff going. Decrease the maximum number of monsters on adjacent tile. The effective lanterns can stack. Okay. I want vampires, but I don't want too many vampires. I think that's what I just did. I don't know, I'm just kind of trying this out here. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't think I want more of those. I want to see what a spider... What does that do? An adjacent tile once a day. I do want to see spiders. I want to see what that's like. Oh, a treasury. Wait a minute. What's this? The thick walls guard all kinds of riches from thieves and previous owners. Give it a random resource after placing anything on the adjacent tile. Can't be built adjacent to anything. Oh, so it's... Okay. So every time I place something around this, I get something. Okay. So I can forego the bonuses up here and get a random resource by putting it down here now. Okay, so I kind of give up that, but I get something else. Alright. Keep this going because I'm not putting those down right now. I don't know if I can discard these at all. A grove. Spawns a rat wolf every 2 days. Alright, so I guess over here? A worthless landmark in a world with no direction. The beacon. Plus 40% movement speed within its range. Plus 20% attack speed for all units. Well, that doesn't make any sense. For everybody? That means I don't get any real bonus there. I guess, let me try that. Okay. So I healed. I have a good amount of HP. Oh, that's a really nice sword. I guess I noticed there's a different color in the background. So yeah, it looks like that depicts the rarity somehow. The color, if it's gray, it's not really too good, but I don't have a second ring slide equipped. I'm gonna keep the vampirism because 15% the amount of damage I'm doing. Well, actually, I think it's not going to affect much anyway. Alright. Let's keep going here. I'm going to go for another loop. Oh, the skeleton. Undead and has a soul. Okay, and 20% attack speed. So that's what I mean. It's... If the 20% attack speed affects everybody, then why do I bother? Excuse me. And it has a 4 and it's blue, and that's a lot of max HP. I'm not sure if I have magic, but that's a lot of extra HP, so I'm gonna put that on. Ooh, I'm siphoning off 2 and 3 now. Nice. The rat wolf came in just in time too. Okay. So I saw there was 2 slimes there, so that makes sense as to why. So they actually physically show how many enemies you're gonna fight. Let me just stop that for a second. I'll put that there. Put that. What just happened? Did that just? I saw this, but did that just appear too? The sound of the goblin camp. The sound of backstabbing can be heard from miles away. Spawns a goblin at adjacent tile once per day. Appears for every 10 mountain/rock tiles. Oh, it did just appear. Okay. So they must be attracted to the mountains. Mountain Peak. A stone giant could support the sky itself if it weren't already gone. A lot of extra HP and plus 5 adjacent HP for every adjacent mountain or rock tile. Spawns a harpy every 2 days. A harpy? So it has a big bonus, but also still gives a collective bonus for if you keep adding to it. Okay. The vampire is kind of nasty, but with my new items, I seem to be doing okay. Oblivion. A bit of Lich's magic causes anything to be totally forgotten. Erase any established tiles. Erases monsters from the road. Whoa, that's pretty powerful, actually. I'm going to put this here. Get my resources. Grove. I think the other thing, too, is it looks like I only have a max number of places I can hold cards, right? So if I want new cards, I have to use what I have, otherwise I lose the opportunity to get stuff I might want. So it forces you to use some of these other items that you might not want to use because they're like deadly and they produce deadly monsters, but well, if you want new stuff, you kind of have no choice there. Okay. Let me try that. So I think I want this there. Kind of control the vampires. I can actually even... Yeah, I can take care of those. Okay. The vampires seem really strong too, so maybe I do just want to wipe them out a little bit. Okay. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. And the grove. That was the rat wolf. Oh, I'm evading? Nice. I didn't think I could evade. Oh, the sword gives me evasion. It's only 6% though. How was I evading so much? Can I can't get rid of these? Because I'm not going to use those, right? Oh, I replaced it. Wait, what? Alright, so is it... Whoa, 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 what's this? Defense and regen per second. A lot of damage in the regen. It's not vampirism, but it has defense. I think the regen might be slightly worth it. And it has very high damage. Oh, and I can just get my vampirism back and get a lot of defense. Okay. Alright, perfect. I think that was a good upgrade there. Oh yeah, I paused it. What's my health at? A little over 300, which I started with 250, so that's perfectly fine. What I was talking about is it looks like if I get the same item, it looks like it upgrades it. Because it looked like it replaces, so maybe I grabbed another one? No, that's not true, because I have this and that. I don't know what happened. Maybe it just moved everything over, and that's all that happened, and I misread what happened. I might have to try and pay a little bit more attention to my inventory screen for that. Ooh. I can counter and regen. Okay. Sounds like a good upgrade there. Ooh, I am smashing things now. Okay. Stop! Where do these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you. I don't remember remembering you. We remembered ourselves. Now give us all you got. You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first, and then you can do anything you want. Goblin must rob. No other order in the world. Fair enough. Guess I don't have any valid objection. Goblin logic. I guess you can't really fight it. Oh wait, I do have one. How about... And I'm guessing that's just when he just starts going. So. I seem to be holding my own pretty well, even against a pile of 3 of them. It's strange that these creatures appear on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad and the world is trying to restore itself. Or that even the apocalypse isn't enough to get rid of some pest. It's kind of like how a nuclear bomb wouldn't get rid of all cockroaches. It's that kind of thinking. Whoa, that has a lot of nice stats on it. I think we're going to definitely equip that. Not quite as much max HP, but that's okay. I'm not at full anyway. I could get really high counter, but I'm not going to do that. So, all right, keep looping. We're at loop enemy NO4. The loop counter affects enemies' levels, affects the level of equipment found as well. Oh. So enemies do passively get stronger as you just keep going on longer and longer. Okay. I don't know if stacking these will do anything like stacking that did. Oh, another treasury. Oh, yeah, it can't be built next to anything else. I could put it here, though. And then anything I put, like... No, it doesn't work the way I thought. Well, rocks in here will still give adjacent bonuses, so that's fine. I was thinking, oh, yeah, double treasury. It's like, no, because I would need them to be almost next to each other with one space in between because I put rocks there. That's not possible. If I put it below, it would have worked. It's a flying thing. No. What do you mean, no? You want to save the world. You want to ask for our help. Our answer is no. How did you... But why no? We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time, there's been just emptiness instead of the sky. But it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving of the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way of saving the world. That's why no one will ever join you. Fine. I don't fully understand, but tell me your version. What does to save the world mean to you? My progeny and my kin. For them to be strong and to live. It's a part of the cycle of life and death. It is life itself. It is the world. I will kill you and feed your remains to my starving younglings, and life will go on. And how many lives does your blade give birth to by killing again and again? Only one. I don't want you or your children to die from starvation. Please try to see reason. If my mission succeeds, harpies can have all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need. I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. It's time to say goodbye. A little short-sighted there. But, you know, if they're hungry now, yeah, there is something to that. I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm becoming the source of another. There's no home for harpies except the highest mountains, but there's no food there. I can't imagine how they managed to survive if their mountains were cut from reality. So, I can spawn them to get really nice HP bonuses. So I get... Oh, let me flip that. I get really nice HP bonus by putting these together like that, but then I spawn harpies as a problem source, so... I don't know if I'll get more items. This is now full, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Battlefield. Smells of blood and steel. Spawns a chest at the start of each loop. Enemies on adjacent tiles can become ghosts. Wow, that evasion was murder there. Preserved rock. Not entirely sure what the stack is going on there. Alright, let me keep going on with this. So I can get rocks together and still get resources. Nice. And I think I want that there. No, there. Because that can spawn the highest chance of treasure chests, right? So... put this here. Because they'll be affected by the road lantern, so there's less likely to pop up enemies there. There's this thing. Map completion. When this bar is filled, the boss... It went away. Why'd it go away? The boss of this chapter will appear on the campfire tile. So is that how you complete maps? I'm still above 200. Ooh, that skeleton does really high damage. Well, I am at level 5. I'm gonna put this on pause. Oh, it is replacing items. Ooh, that is sweet. I can see why this game is addicting. I've heard this game's addicting, but I'm starting to see why. I don't know if this is actually better. The other one gives me attack speed, evasion, and this just gives me regen. So I don't think that one's actually better. A little bit higher defense, but no vampirism. Counter. Where am I currently? I'm pretty close to home. I'm getting pretty low, and this is getting pretty dangerous, though. Retreat. You keep 60% of resources you found. So I could take the risk to go around one more time, or leave. I did get a new sword. Let me see what this looks like with my new sword. I am regenerating actively as I'm on the map. And during battles. What is this? Beacon. Plus 40% movement. Oh, the movement buff. Okay. That makes sense, because if I move faster, I go faster than the day progress bar. So I get around the board more quickly than mobs are able to spawn. So that's the biggest benefit that offers. I'm gaining more than I'm losing, so that's okay. I'm gonna keep this in my hand. Oh, this might be rough. Oh, I might die. Okay, I died. Okay, you've died in battle. Death does not favor the fallen, but it made little exception for you. It made a little exception for you. Retreat. You keep 30% of all resources. Alright, so instead of keeping 60, I kept 30. I can't believe it. Hey everybody, the boy has managed to return. I mean, a little. Return. I died, but whatever. Survivors, is this me? I'm not alone anymore? Where'd you come from? Is there still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from, or we can't remember. These people you see are only a small part of what's left of the group, I think. You're not sure? We're not sure. We reached that conclusion because of the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. With each day, new signs of presence of people that, as far as everybody here knows, have never been with us. It's like we forgot them. You forgot? Exactly. It's like people disappear every day and we instantly forget they even existed. Almost as if we forgot the place we came from, and our families, and maybe even ourselves. My name is Yoda. Not Yoda, but Yota. That's the part I still remember. Nobody else's memory is in much better shape. That's a little crazy. That's why I remember so little about myself. Everything's forgotten. But wait, you said that I'd managed to return. That means you remembered I was here. Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't wander around the emptiness anymore. There's a campfire and a few sleeping bags here. A real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Oh, of course. I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to restore everything. I've begun to remember the world as it was before. But there's no point to it without the people. It's too lonely without them. Remembering the world? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted. I don't care. But we'd be glad if you could help us, and be glad to help you. Oh, that's... Yeah, I'm covering up the person. That's what they look like. Just don't ask us to go with you. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. I don't know what you're talking about. I only died the first time I tried. It's not that bad, really. You just come back to life. Don't worry about it. I will ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. It went away, but then just instantly came back for some reason. We weren't joking about helping you. Here are a few things that survive the cataclysm and don't vanish away. Can't be forgotten. Take them. You might need them. Oh, resources. Okay, cool. Campfire. Survivors' tents. A camp filled with exhausted people and their limited belongings. It can't be destroyed, but its inhabitants will gradually move to better housing if you build it. Wait, what? Show high building levels and improvement options. So it looks like these are gray and this one's the only one that's like highlighted. So I'm guessing it's the only one I have resources for. Field Kitchen. Plus 10% of campfire's healing power unlocks the Blood Grove card. whatever that card does. So I'm going to upgrade Foundation Stone. And there's a new person. Do you know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? The food made by a good cook is tastier. Right. What? You were waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is just very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, a bucket of potatoes, 3 onions, and some ham. Nothing special, everything is very simple. But give me a few minutes, and everyone in this camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew. Sure. Sounds good. Whatever. Okay. So, oh, it does show the resource. Okay. So, it looks like some of these I'm limited to how many I can build. Well, this one doesn't have that. It looks like I'd be able to build as many farms as I want. So, interesting. So, is it expedition time? I think it's expedition. So this is like my main hub area, I guess? It's very small, but maybe it'll get bigger. What's this? Expedition menu, Chapter 1. Enemies have certain abilities. They have... whatever. Your class is warrior. Doesn't have any particular benefits or disadvantages. The highest durability compared to our classes, plus 2 damage for each second in the fight. So as the fight keeps going on, it gets stronger. Additional class stats, damage, regenerate, blah blah blah. And this is what I can currently equip. This is highlighted. Oh, what? What is going on here? And it's throwing more things at me. I guess there's a lot more to this than I anticipated. Okay, deck building menu. Blood Grove, okay. A living forest preys on wounded occupants of the adjacent tile. May spawn something dreadful and from their remains. Can be placed near a forest adjacent to a road. If roots devour enemies that have... oh, its roots devour enemies that have less than 15% HP left. Oh, so it gives you like a quick kill option. It says only enemies, so I don't think it affects me, hopefully. So this is... wait a minute. So the cards that pop up after battle are deterministic based on what I have. Okay, I'm getting it. That's good, actually. That's interesting. Alright, so what's this? 11... oh, this must be the limit I can have. I must have at least 7, but no more than 12. Deck building. And I guess it must cycle through. So, if I want to... let me think. Oh, and the same limits are over here. Okay, so I must have at least one of these, but I can only have 3. So I think I want to keep all those. I want these to pop up as much as possible. And, oh, if it's upgradable, it'll show you the cards underneath it. Okay. Alright, so I have to at least have those. But this one I can modify. This one I at least have to have those. This one I can modify. I can just add this, and that'd be good to go. Because I meet the requirement here, I meet the requirement here. But I can have just these two, and I still meet both requirements. So what do I want to do? The road lantern is a positive to me. I think the battlefield's a positive to me. And I think that's all I want to do. That's cool. I like that. That is very, very cool. Okay. I guess now I start. Okay, so real quick, this reset, I was looking to see if that would reset up here. It did, which means I must have to be able to get strong enough to actually complete until this is able to fill up and I'm able to defeat the boss, and essentially it's just keep going until you can manage that. Oh, it wasn't the rock and mountain. It shows the upgrade. What it did is it shows you you can either draw a rock and or a mountain whenever you draw that card. Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna put this here. This doesn't have anything really, so I'm just gonna put that here, I guess. I think I'm starting to get it. A lot of cool systems already being shown to me. Probably should have put these down quicker. Alright, so throw it on the menu, the meadows. Throw it on the beacon. Throw it on a battlefield. The mountain and the rock. There we go. I probably should be throwing on equipment here as I go. There we go. I'm gonna hold on to that for a second. So we can put this. We'll put that here. And yeah, we'll put that there because that'll help reduce monsters on it. Okay, this is really cool. I like this. You don't get too. How do I want to say this? Oop, I kind of knocked my mic there a second. Yeah, I was trying to get to the shield here. Oh. No, I don't have anything equipped. Perfect. Yeah, I can already see why this is very addicting for people to play. It's a very interesting concept. It's kind of like one of those concepts. It's like it almost makes you like, why hasn't this already been done? And maybe it has in other games and I haven't noticed it, but ooh, a treasure chest. But it's also one of those things where I don't think you would see this ever really come from. Let me see. I want something with a lot of space. It has a lot of options. I think that's over here would be the best spot. I don't want Oblivion anything currently. So, yeah, what was I saying? Evasion or counter? Let me try evasion. I think that would be better for my defenses and staying power. That, and where'd my treasury go? There we go. Actually, I should have put that on the air side because I could have put another treasury there. Oh well, whatever. What's done is done. Now I want to use metals there because I want to keep rocks next to each other. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so the background seems to be... That's a very nice ring. The background seems to indicate... Let me pop this down. I'll continue that thought for a second. The background seems to indicate the rarity of the item or how many stats it can possibly have, and it uses a traditional... I can't actually wear helmets. Why can't I wear a helmet? I should be able to wear a helmet, right? I'm a warrior. I mean, my character model has a helmet on it. What's going on with this? This is kind of BS right now. I'm at full. Perfect. Alright. So you don't expect a bigger publisher, a bigger studio to make this kind of game. This seems like one of those type of things that only like medium-sized or very small indie developers could make. Because they're the only ones that would be willing to take the risk. It seems like. Which is unfortunate, because the bigger studios would do well to look at things like... Yeah, don't get me wrong, FPS games are great and all that, but the kind of game where the system gives you a lot to think about, a lot of strategy and all this other stuff, you know, kind of like what recently came out with Outriders, right? So they're trying to do something akin to like what RPGs or almost like this board style type of game does. It gives you a lot to think about. You know, a lot of different options to build your character and all that. Ooh, I'm beating up a treasure chest. There we go. Yeah, take that, chest. I didn't know you fight the chest. That's kind of awesome. Alright, so I think the current ring I have is OP, so I'm going to keep that on. Yeah, another treasure right there. Perfect. Then I can... There we go. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. Alright, let's get that going. Oh, that gives you a lot of resources. Keep placing rocks there. You know, let me put this down right there, and the grove right there. Keep them next to the road lantern so they're kept in check, but they still produce enemies that give me nice items. I think that works out pretty well. There we go, perfect. And I have another beacon. And I can't really place this beacon anywhere. Oh, I can place on the outer side. Okay. That works. Oh yeah, give me that shield. But yeah, the systems are already kind of showing me that everything kind of interlocks together and works very well together. You know, the stuff that you're putting on the map here not only gives your character passive bonuses, but they do affect... Well, that was a lot of cards I just popped up from that enemy. But they also affect the board itself and the enemies you see. That's really cool. And the enemies you see affect the items you get. So it's already like one part of the chain links to another, links to another, links to another. And that all stems from even the deck that you built like right before I started this. So yeah, it's a lot of things can go on at once here, and that's a very, very cool thing. I don't want it there. I think I want this here. Then I can start placing things here. I'm doing much better this time as far as my health is concerned. But then that's also because I took out vampires out of my deck. I took out something else. So I think that's having a big improvement on my situation. Was just reducing the threat possibilities. So it seems like I just watched stuff go in the bags here. If you start getting stuff, things that are down here that you got first get moved down, and it looks like they get like DE'd or disenchanted or broken down or whatever you want to call it, and they become resources. So that's how your inventory gets managed. You don't have to manually do anything, which is pretty cool. Is this ring better? The other one I have is Regen and Vampirism, and attack speed and defense, and this, yeah, it's yellow and not orange, so that makes sense. So yellow means... Alright, so white means 1 stat, blue means 2 stat, yellow means 3 stat, and this orange, like, what would be traditionally called, like, legendary, I guess, is 4 stats. Okay, so that's what that means. Gotcha. Of course, you also have this number, which I'm guessing, again, that's the level of the item, and that must affect the possible amount of stat, like the power of the stat that's on there. So even though this is only 1 stat, this 3 indicates that it's going to have a more powerful possibility stat than this 2, which that makes sense because that's HP 179, that's HP 293. So this rare 3 ring, the attack speed is much better because it's a higher level than this, even though this ring has more types of stats on it. This has more powerful stats on it. So that's interesting. Okay. So there's a couple different things you have to look at there. What is that? Rage. And rages after an ally dies. Plus 30% damage. Ooh, that's bad. Oh wow, they are whooping me pretty good actually. This one enemy I think is the reason why I'm almost at half right now. Okay. So let me pop that down, pop that down. Keep putting these medals over here. I think I will go ahead and do another one. Oh wait, it didn't spawn another mountain peak. Why not? Can you only have one? That's weird. So, can I get rid of that. Cool. Okay. Perfect. Because goblins are very dangerous. So that I just wipe them out of existence. Perfect. And I just brought one back because the more rocks and mountains that they spawn based on that. So yeah, you get a buff, but you're gonna bring into existence very dangerous creatures. Okay. So I'm at camp. I can run away safely. I have a decent amount of health. There's only one goblin camp, but that one goblin did do a ton of damage to me. I'm not going to spawn another one anytime soon because I just had one pop up there. And I have another Oblivion. That goblin stayed there. Okay. It looks like it might be dangerous, but I'm gonna go for it. And I just got healed. Perfect. Okay. I'll see what happens. Also, the settings here. I think I will take a... Yeah. Automatically pause in the end of a loop. I think I'll actually turn that on, because I do want to actually keep track of when I hit the campfire. So I like that. Meadow sounds good. I'm not sure if meadows spawn anything. I haven't seen anything that says I spawned because of meadows, so... Oh, that pops up if you're paused. Okay. Okay. No. Yeah, okay, it's still gonna keep going. Oof, that skeleton's no joke. Come on! Come on! It's just a bag of bones here. Let's go. Take them out. Whew. Alright. Yeah, where am I right now? I'm there. Let me see if I can get past them faster, because I kind of want them to move faster than this does. Alright, the wolves don't seem to be too much of an issue. Wow. Yes, please. Okay. Level 5 vampirism and defense. That's very nice. Starting to think, though, I might have some problems getting through this. That high increase in damage. Thank you. Yeah, take them out quickly. This Oblivion is getting rid of that goblin. There we go. Yeah. I just went from I might die to, well, I might live now. There's a harpy. Oh, that damage increase is beautiful. Okay. So, yeah, that's just a straight upgrade. Actually, that's just a straight... I haven't been upgrading my armor very well. Okay. Whatever. That's probably fine. Okay. Rock. Metal. Okay. Ooh, yes, another chest. Let's go. Give me something good. Come on. Oh, this one's a mimic. This one's actually... Oh, this one's actually hurting me. Those mimics. Oh, the Bane and Dark Souls, let me tell you. Mimics, oh god, those were nasty. A little less damage, but a decent evasion rate. I think that's better. I think when you include the evasion, I think that makes that better. Oh yeah, Mimics and Dark Souls. Oh my god, those... I hated them so much. Every time I walk up to a chest, it's always like I got... Just smack it in the face real quick. Oh, you get a completion bonus. Nice. I'm gonna go home anyway, so I think this is okay. I really like that. Whoa, 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 what's this? A little less damage again. Damage to all defense. So it has a little bit AoE. And it actually adds to my defense, and I get vampirism. I think that's worth it. And that's definitely worth it. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can complete that before I end this loop. See if it pauses. It does pause. And it does do the regen. Okay. 600. It's about to cycle through, though. No goblin camps. And these are mostly weak enemies. Do I do one more? Do I dare do one? One more. One more. One more. Yeah, one more. Let's go. No whammies. No whammies. Alright, come on. There we go. That's that looks beautiful. Let's go. Slice her head off. Oh, come on, don't invade me. I don't think I'll fill this up and get a boss. But I think... Ooh. Very high defense. You know, I think I will. It's only one stat, but that's a very high stat compared to what I was using. Whoa, whoa, okay, what's going on here? Level 8 defense or level 5 defense, attack speed, and counter. I like the counter, but I don't know if that actually stops damage. Whereas I know defense should just straight up stop damage. Regen per second. With a decent damage upgrade. No, I think I'm going to keep what I have. Yeah, I'm going to keep everything. Okay. Yeah, every time I swing, it does a little bit of damage. The damage total is 2. Okay. Actually doing much better against the skeleton this time than last time. A little less defense, but more AoE damage. I don't think the AoE damage is quite necessary. Alright. I don't know where I'm at with goblins, as far as these mountains and such. Is that... No, okay. I'm actually going to hold on to these. I don't want to spawn more harpies just yet. Or not harpies, goblins. I already have the harpy spawning because of the mountain peak, but I'm going to keep getting goblins though still. Is the problem. What do these do? Heals 2 HP at the start of each day. So it's only at the start of each day, but that's a big regen once you get a decent number of them. Although, nah, my health is getting so high that even that. I like the regen, but I think the defense is still too good. It's too bad I can only wear one ring. I'm very excited to open these up and really increase the power of my character. Which, now that I think about it, it probably has to do with that smithy building that I can create. If I had to guess, I'll bet you that'll increase the inventory equipment slots I have here. Ooh, what did I just get? So this is defense, attack speed, and regen. It's just straight up better. And the mace is just... That's a decent damage upgrade. But my current weapon has a defense stat on it. I think I'm going to keep that on. Yeah, I'm taking very little damage from slime, but slime is not a... The slime is not a very hard enemy to deal with. I think I want to put down the mountains. There's a goblin camp now. So what was that? Every 10, so now my counter's back to 8. Okay. I have to see what I regen at with a campfire. So down to 7. I wonder if there's a counter somewhere that helps keep track of that. Oh, I am up against a harpy here. The harpy's not doing a lot. My defense must be very, very good. Yeah, that's too much defense loss, I think. What is... Alright, it's down here. 40. I'm kind of blocking it a little bit, but... Defense is 44. And there's no extra data that gives me when I highlight it. So, it must just be a flat damage reduction. Like a 1-to-1 ratio. Like if it was going to do 30. Or let me say 50 since my defense is at 44. If it was going to do 50... It must reduce it to where I only take 6 damage. That's my current guess. I don't actually know. But based on the fact that there's no other data here. Alright, so now I have 800 health. Yeah, based on the fact that I have no other data, that's my best guess as to what that means. Everything else is kind of self-explanatory, so I would imagine that's got to be relatively self-explanatory. So I think I'm up to, if I put down 6 more. Stable wood, stable branches, food supply, rations. What is this? Metamorphosis. The word's ability to change and transform is carefully detached from its existence, put into an orb, and destroyed. It's nice that it isn't irreversible. Noticeable change. There's enough to turn a caterpillar into a butterfly. Or this is enough to do that. A seed to sprout, or a drop of water into a stream. Will turn itself into something else too if you collect enough of it. 20 changes form a complete metamorphosis. Okay. So there are smaller fragments that you can gather. If you get enough of them, it turns into a full, complete thing. Okay. I think it's safe enough to do one more. I feel like my defense is very high, but the enemy level does go up each time, and it might have just gone up past the point where I might not survive. I think this time I'll take my leave. The thought of leaving the battlefield and going back to Coast Camp has passed through your mind. What time of idea? The camp is just around the corner. If you retreat now, you keep everything. I think I'll do that. Okay, another success. You've returned and we still remember you. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's good to be back, but I'd hardly call it a success. My old memories of the world are gone. The path is empty again. There's only darkness everywhere I look. Yeah, I guess. Interesting. So technically you remember that there are things you have forgotten. We should find a way to use that. Let's talk about something more positive. We managed to tidy this place up, so it's time for the next step. What do you have in mind? Expanding the camp. We have all sorts of craftsmen, from cooks to an alchemist, but they all need a place to work. But we can't use the materials from around here. You turn away for a second from a branch or a stone you've just found, and it's gone. I'm afraid only you can solve this problem. The materials only you can solve. The materials that survive your trip always look suitable for building. But these are just stones and splinters. How can you build something for them? Curious, eh? I noticed it with the fire you made. The things you obtained somehow infect everything similar with stability. Only in small amounts, but it's still something. Even a small branch enough to make a wooden wall exist without constant supervision. So the resources I find are special because they don't disappear if you try to use them. Okay. Oh, now I have the statistics button. Okay, so I guess just keeps track of things. Like it was killed by a goblin leader. That is true. So I guess that gives you the ability to like track like, oh, did I have like a perfect run, or am I still like alive with no deaths or something? That's pretty cool. I don't have enough for anything. That's too bad. I was hoping I had enough for like a smithy, but it looks like I need more of these metamorphosis. Or a stable metal. So, lets you start an expedition with basic warrior gear. Unlocks the ability to craft tools for the camp if the supply depot is built. Alright, so that doesn't give me more slots, but like I guessed it would. It actually just makes it so I go into a loop with basic gear. Okay. So you keep building and building. So, I was probably meant to build the field kitchen here. But I already did that, so I need to keep going so I can keep building more stuff. Alright, so that's a good place to take a break. So, I'll come back, I keep getting resources, I'll be right back. Okay. So, expedition. Oh, I got something new. Crystals that are able to refract, not only the light of the rising sun, but the passage of dawn itself. Doubles the effect of a day's passing on adjacent tiles. So, pop this next to a campfire. That'd probably be... Oh no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want any effects. That's not affected by that. So I think that... I actually think I want that. Add vampires, add spiders. I'll try the vampires again, actually. I'm gonna see if they drop certain things, or try to notice that they do. So that's randomly generated, that makes sense. Okay, let me stop that, and... There we go. We'll let this run for a second and pop some, eat some food while this is going for a minute. Oh, wait, oh. Oh, it is armor. Okay. What was this again? The doubles the effects, right? So rock. Alright, so there's nothing there yet. AoE ring. And a shield. Okay, getting some basic equipment. And, okay, those are all the same. So, cemetery. I like it right there, I think. So, I was talking about Outriders before. Because I think I was bringing that into the system idea. Now, Outriders is trying to include like a loot system into an FPS game to make it more interesting. You know, that's a very, very good idea as long as they make the loot system actually worthwhile. And that's the thing is, you know, if you're gonna do something, you gotta make sure it's done well. Otherwise, there's no point. And every time you pass by one, you get a certain resource. So maybe having some of those bad ones will still be a good idea because they give you certain resources. So I think I want to pop that there. Oh, I just pop these anywhere I want. So, and that's a very good idea. You know, if you compare that to like The Division. I didn't play The Division, but The Division systems didn't seem very well done. Especially when you talk about the endgame loop that they tried having. There seemed to be, from what I remember hearing about, there was a lot of issues with it. I don't know how Division 2 fared. I didn't listen to a lot about that. But they tried incorporating loot into a game that where the enemies felt very spongy as a result. And Outriders, instead of having just spongy enemies, some of them are probably still spongy, but I know I've seen a little bit about with the bosses, and they move around, and it's almost more like a raid boss type situation, where you have to move around, be certain spots, or be not in certain spots. And that makes it much more interesting than just standing behind cover and trying to keep, you know, pumping lead into an enemy that just is taking 1,000,000 bullets, and that's just boring, right? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna keep putting that there. I think I'd rather have attack speed than damage to all there. At least on that stat level. So I think that's where Outriders did a very good thing just from what I saw. Now, the biggest problem with Outriders right now is that they can't keep their servers online. And that's an issue for an always online game. So now that's a separate issue from the system in the game. I haven't seen anybody play the end game yet. I haven't seen anybody get there. I am glad I skipped on it though. Simply because I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I really have time for something like that when I'm already into Last Epoch. I'm playing Hollow Knight and stuff like this. It doesn't seem like it would be a very good idea for me to try and work that in there. I'm going to try to keep that from spawning too many enemies so that I can still get resources. Here we go, treasury. So I think I want this here, because then if I pop another one here, I can surround both of them. Yeah, that looks good. I can't affect that though. I have to wait for like one of those battlefield ones or something. I don't know. So I'm glad I skipped it because of all the server issues they're having. It sounds like a bad time, which is very unfortunate. I was just trying to look at my gear real quick there. I'm glad I turned on the stop at campfire because it gives me that second to like say, to give me that recognition that a turn has passed. You can now make a decision to keep going, or I don't know what it was. I just saw it was 4 and it was blue. Put it on. You know, take stock of your health. Take stock of. Oh, I couldn't click and drag that for some reason. So I'm glad I turned that on. If I can get past this wolf, I think I'm home free. Because everything's at the start of the loop. Defense, and that's a big upgrade. Okay. So yeah, I'm very glad I didn't get into the start of Outriders. It might be better to get in later on when they fix the issues and maybe the server population isn't as crazy or something. Because right now it's probably the height of the game. Maybe later on it's not so crazy. And the server stability would be much better. Okay. Yes, I think I want that. So that'll help against enemies on these tiles when they get to 15% or less. I think I'm going to have to quit this one early because I am doing very poorly. I think that's just because I didn't get very good items. So I'm glad I skipped it. I'm glad that I'm bypassing all the stuff they have going on there. And I think it's time for me to get out of Dodge. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I can't build anything, so I'll just go out there again. Did I want to get rid of something? Place on a living forest may spawn something dreadful. It can be placed near a forest tile. So I think I want to take that down because I want to see this more. Da-da-da-da-da! What does this sound remind me of? It's almost a little bit of like that Friday the 13th NES game, a little sound effect going on there. Spawns less enemies, we'll put that there. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of that, but it's much nicer. Like, that game was like, oh, the sound effects are a little bit annoying. Oh, here we go. Pop that. Pop that. Battlefield. And turns them into ghost. Oh, Wasteland spawns a slime. Slimes are good, because those are very weak enemies. And I also don't know what the end game of Outriders is like, and that's mostly what's going to make or break that game. Is the end game good or not? Because if the end game's not good and they haven't done a good job with that, there's no point, right? And to be fair, I'm also very into Last Epoch as like my game of like grindy gear gathering choice. And in reality, it's like, you can only do so much. You know, you only have so much time. So I think you can have like one grindy game at a time. One or two, depending on how much time you have available to devote to games. I would say 1 to 2 grindy type games are like probably most people's limits, I would say. The regen or vampirism? I think the vampirism might be slightly stronger, just because you're doing more damage than the regen might be able to perform. So, Last Epoch is that game for me right now, and that has been very good to me. I very much enjoy myself with that game. I feel like with that game, and I'll probably mention this if I ever play it on stream as well. Ooh, a rare one. Yeah, that's very nice. So I'm going to pop this there, because that has the lantern effect. Yeah, let's double effect that. There we go. Yeah, because they can stack. Perfect. So doubles the effect of a days passing on adjacent tiles. So I want this. I think I want that there. Because then doesn't that doubles the effect of a days passing? Yeah, because that should spawn 2 chests now, right? I don't know if I put that down in time. I think the day already passed, so I guess I'll have to wait to see for another day. If I make it that far. If I make it that far. I don't think I want to spawn harpies yet, or do I? Maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll see, because maybe that's why I'm not getting gear the way I was before, is because I'm not seeing more difficult enemies that actually drop the better gear. You know what, just... There we go. And the beacon can go... right? Actually, I like it right there, yeah. Oh, the treasury. I couldn't get that down. Well, it's only affected by things I put down anyway. So, where's a good spot for this? I can put... Oh, there's not a lot of room for the treasury this time. I guess it is what it is. I want to get those resources, so I'm going to pop those next to each other. So yeah, last epoch... I feel like it's kind of the ARPG I've been waiting for. I wanted something that was... I could sink my teeth into more than I could with Diablo 3, but that wasn't as time investment necessary as Path of Exile. Path of Exile is just too much for me as far as the time requirement that's necessary. Well, I don't know why I put that up there. I need this down here. Whatever. Alright, we're gonna... Whoa, okay, hold on. Has regen, evasion, and vampirism, and is a damage upgrade. Yes, please. So, that, and... pop that there. And so yeah, Path of Exile, good game, but requires a lot of time. It's, you know, again, very well done and all that stuff, but ultimately its biggest weakness, at least for me, is simply that the time is just too much kind of thing. I don't think it's a really good spot for me to put that. Alright, full is good. I think I'm doing okay in equipment and life and all that stuff, so I think I'm gonna go around again here. Yeah, because I didn't take a lot of damage at all. Whoa! Okay, hold on. A big HP plus, a counter evade is just... That was awesome. I'm going to take a quick few minutes here just to mute my mic and eat some of my crackers and hummus because I am very hungry. And I'm going to let this play and roll out and see what happens, so... Okay, let's take stock of what we got here. I got in full. There's some enemies here. I took out the Goblin Camp with that Oblivion card. I put down another Battlefield. Yeah, I think I'm good to go here. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? That last epoch. Yes. And the crazy thing is, it's still in early access. But I heard a lot of good things about the most recent update. Ooh, the spear I missed out on. Hold on. Regen has defense. I think the defense stat is very powerful from what I've noticed so far. Oh, this gives me magic damage. And yeah, I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, the last update where they upgraded the... Ooh. I keep trying to talk, and it's like I see something new, and it's like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, yes, let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's hard to get complete thoughts out, because every 5 minutes, game throwing something like, ooh, wait, what's that? I'm the hero, yes. I would like to have been to do better in that battle than I did. Another beacon. That looks like a good spot, actually. And I can't quite get the chest to spawn there. It looks like it doesn't actually affect the tiles I put here, like the battlefield. It only affects the tiles here. So if I was to put them here, it would double the effect here. But it's not. I'm not getting like 2 treasure chests every time a day passes just because I have chrono crystals next to them. That's not what's going on. So yeah, the last update with last epoch, or the most recent one, not the last one. Here we go again. Ooh, hold on. I'm never gonna get a thought out. Let's see, magic damage. I actually think the one I'm wearing is better, except for that massive max HP buff. Yeah, but I think the evasion stat's more important. I think I'm just gonna actually hold out. So yeah, the end game got reworked to where the end game has these monoliths, and I've just gotten to the point where I've empowered all the monoliths, which means I have gone through all the monoliths, and I have completed all of them to where now I have empowered monoliths. So instead of them being certain item levels based on, or certain levels based on where you're at that point, they are all just now level 100 monoliths, and they all are very, very strong as far as the type of enemies that can appear. Actually, I think I'm going to put that there. Put our beacon there. Put a cemetery here. So that increases your item drop chance, and it actually gives you, it unlocks certain uniques that are only available on level 100 monoliths, because they only can drop off level 100 bosses that you fight. So you get access to more power, more items, all that kind of stuff. You know, my first character is a Warpath character, kind of like a Cyclone or Whirlwind type of character. You know, spin to win if you know anything about that kind of stuff. That's not a mimic, good. That has defense. Nah, I'm gonna keep what I got. And it kind of goes into the same idea as this, as far as the systems in place, because ARPGs live or die in their systems. Like, what's your endgame system? What's your item system like? What's your types? The affixes are your builds have interesting and cool ways to be implemented. You know, so it kind of goes hand in hand. It's outside of range of those two. So I think I might as well just put it here. Yeah. Do I want to loop again? I think I can survive another loop. I think I'm doing fine. So let's loop again. Hopefully this doesn't show up too loud. If it's too bad, I'll just knock it out of the when I'm editing. Ooh, that's a big damage upgrade. I think I have to equip that one. Because not only is the damage much higher, but the attack speed is a nice +2, and that's a multiplier to my damage. So if I can get swings out faster, that's just a big DPS upgrade. Artificial life. Oh, we have a goblin leader. That's bad. Oh, good. They're targeting them first. Much better strat than last time. Ooh, that's a difficult decision there. I think I might keep the one I have. And it's stuff like that. Whenever you have something where it's like, which one? Yeah, that's kind of like, okay, you're probably making a good decision. Ooh, that another increase in attack speed. A little more damage, but less attack speed. I don't think the damage is enough to justify that decrease in attack speed there. Yeah, no way. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, just keep beating up wolves. Let's go. I'm cool with that. Pause that. No, pause. There we go. Okay. Meadow. Rock. Oh, I thought I paused it. I guess it didn't take. Give up attack speed for defense and a couple other things. It's only 2 defense. I don't think it's worth it. One of those nasty mimics. Ooh, a treasury. There we go. Start popping stuff around that treasury. Give me my stuff. Let's go. Blood clot? What is going on with these? My health is getting dangerously low too. The good thing is most of the danger stuff is towards the beginning of the loop and not the end, so. Alright, just a normal chest. Good. Alright, so this has defense and attack speed. So, I'm actually going to replace it because that defense might be more important right now than I realize. It's probably going to be my last loop, too, on this round. Just keep throwing down things. Oh, it turns into metal. Okay. Well, certain things. I wonder if that... No, it's still just... I thought the rarity was going to turn into something more, but it wasn't the case. I don't know why I paused. It's going to stop right there. Okay. Look at what's upcoming right here. There is no way I'll survive that. Yeah, it's like that last loop was just... It's like, okay, you're done now. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. Just retreat. Alright. Alright, so now we actually have a choice. Not only can we build something, we can build 2 different things. Herbalist Hut. The hands of the herbalist always remember how to mix dried herbs and brew healing potions. Potions can heal 4% of your max HP. You can take up to 3 with you. 2 are refilled when you are at camp. Does that mean when you return home or when you pass the loop and do a full loop? Also unlocks a swamp card. Gymnasium, a place where you learn how to read, write, and be polite to your teacher. Physical training takes priority. Unlocks the ability to gain special traits after killing monsters and expeditions. unlocks the village card. I think a potion is probably priority, right? It's a miracle we could find some fertile soil. And that we're able to save some seeds from precious healing herbs. But the real miracle is these healing poultices and balms still have any effect. We've already lost many people because of the cataclysm. It would be nice not to lose more to disease. And these potions can also help you. Take a bottle or two on your trip and your chances of getting back unharmed will be much higher. I agree. I do still have enough. Nice. Actually, I unlocked the farm. Okay. Farm crops are always a welcome sight at the dinner table. All empty tiles around the farm are transformed into gardens. After an expedition, it gives you 1 ration for every completed loot, but not more than there are garden tiles around the farm. You can build something over a garden. Alright, so this makes you just make a decision on the space you have, because farms do much better by themselves, but if you need space, you can build something next to a farm, but it takes away from your garden. So again, you have to make a decision there. Unlocks the ability to craft the supplies depots built. Unlocks the wheat fields cards. Is that more important? I think that's more important. Oh, I can only build them adjacent to our things. I wanted to build it like right there. I guess I can't. I guess I have to keep building adjacent to things I already have. Because it's only... yeah. So this gives me the most right here. So I think I'll do that. So have you noticed how strangely this ability affects our senses? Hunger, for example. You can stop eating for days and you still won't be hungry. This, of course, does not mean you should stop eating altogether. The farmer promises that he'll be able to grow some stable crops, but it will take some time. It'll be interesting to see what he can grow without sunlight. Yeah, good point. There's no sun. How are you building things? Don't worry about it. Okay. Why is that locked? I don't know. The stench is murderous, or maybe it's poison. It spawns a mosquito every 3 days. All healing effects are lethal here, except for the potions. They are still on your side. So if I have like some kind of vampirism, it's actually gonna have the opposite effect. That's pretty bad, actually. Let me try that, though. Da-da-da-da-da! The fewer you have, the more you cherish. The fewer potions you have, the more you like them. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me hold on to that. Okay. That's enough of that. Let's stop that, get these metals down before the day passes, because that's going to be HP. And I like my HP. There we go. Perfect timing. Alright, we're going to see what these spiders do now, or mosquitoes. Has a soul. I don't understand why they have to mention has a soul. Like, why? There must be some kind of attack or spell that, like, either has more or less effect, or only has effect on things with or without souls. That's the only thing I can think of. That was a very fast attacking creature. I think the day rolled over and the meadow actually caused me to take damage because I was in the swamp area. That sucks. That was very unlucky. Did I use a potion? Heals you by 4% HP when your life is in danger. Was I gonna die? Huh. Maybe I was gonna die, I don't know. Let's get these going. I think I have to take one of those out. They're just too dangerous to keep on the field right now. I might have to reset this one. I might have to leave and start a new one after, because this is not starting out very well. Yeah, maybe I can survive one more. I'll try one more. See what happens. The mosquito, there's only one left, and that was the thing that's most dangerous to me right now. I don't know why that was popping when... The life in danger must be when you're under 50% or something. At least it looks like it recharges every time I complete a loop. So that's very good. That makes it a very powerful item to have unlocked. I just got armor. Yeah, so far this game has systems where it's like a roguelike, it's like a board game. It's... Oh, whoa, what's that? No defense, but a lot of other good stuff. And it has deck building aspects to it. There's very deep system going on here, so... It makes me wonder, like, what else is waiting for me? Because it's already surprised me a few times, like the deck building thing. It's like, I just came out of nowhere. You know, is there something else as well that's just waiting for me to be unlocked? And I'm sure there is. All those things I can build, there has to be stuff that's going to pop up because of that. Even the one already said, like, being able to craft certain things, so there has to be something that's still waiting for me to find it. Thankfully, no other goblins, but I don't know if I'm going to make it past this battle. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that extra loop did me in. I'm alive, but this probably should have happened the first time, but because it was my first actual loop that I did, it was mandatory that I actually talk to these people before they talk about, oh, you died. Oh, we'll discuss that later. We'll talk about that later. Okay, now you died again. Okay, now we have time to talk about it. Thanks to us, a small group of us dragged you here. It wasn't easy. Don't die again. It's very hard on us. It puts us off a lot. How could you fight off all those monsters? They nearly killed me. That's also interesting. Many of them vanished right before our eyes. Somehow, some we managed to avoid. But I think most of the beasts were gone even before we left the camp. I think your trips are deeply connected to your memories, my friend. Everything falls apart as soon as you're unconscious. So everything so far seems very, very, very much tied to my specific character, as far as that's concerned. Alright, so I don't think I want swamps right now. But I need to have something. Those mosquitoes are just too powerful. Those aren't doing much for me. So I think I can have that. And I like these three. Yeah, let's do that. Charge! Every time I hear that, I was thinking like, what if I was like, it's like charge just came out. It's like that must be what I was thinking about. And it finally just was like, oh yeah, charge. There we go. You know, it really is too bad. Going back to Outriders, it really is disappointing that they have a game where if you're gonna have something always online, make it so that on your end as well, that it is always online. You know what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate. Hopefully they get that fixed soon, because my understanding is for the first week of launch, it has been very rough. People cannot essentially play the game, and maybe that's just, you know, depending on where you are. Maybe if you get on during certain times, it's better. I don't know, but I know some people had a very hard time getting on, even a little bit. And that's just playing by themselves, let alone trying to get into a game with somebody else. I think I want this there, and I want this one there, so it doubles the effect of that road. Okay. I don't know what that was. Preserve pebbles. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, wait a minute. This right here looks like a skull, and that must be when it triggers the healing potion. If I had to guess. I think this is more valuable early on than the vampirism, because I don't do enough damage for the vampirism to really take effect. Alright, let's get that down, so now we can start doubling up on those. That's... They're only overtaking that one. There we go. Like I said, I might even play that game down the road if I can confirm from other people that I look up and they say, oh yeah, the end game's very well done, there's a lot of build diversity, all that stuff. It's like, okay, maybe then it's worth the risk. But right now, a lot of other stuff going on. It was kind of not really into it. And I was like, I feel like I dodged a bullet, really. Maybe down the road they're able to fix it, get that stuff going better, which they better. People pay a lot of money it's for that game, so I really hope to get that up and going. I really do feel like this game is well worth the money so far, and I've only played, what, 2 hours so far? I can already tell it was definitely a good decision. Which, when a game has a certain amount of, like, people raving about it, you know, usually there's a reason. It's, you know, people don't get that excited unless they have a good reason. Like, everybody is telling other people, oh, you gotta play this game, it's really good. You see reviews, it's very, very, very good stuff going on with it. And the one person I was watching, you know, they were just saying, yeah, it's hard to describe, just play it. Just get it and play it. If you have any remote possibility you think you will like this type of thing, and they said just get it, it's very good. Yeah, it's not even obviously very, how do I say, graphically intense, obviously. You know, indie games, that's to be expected. But, you know, indie games, they typically make up for that in how interesting the game is. And this one, very, very interesting so far. This, I think I'm going to put that right there. I'm very, very happy. And like I said, I already know there's got to be much more. I haven't even seen a boss yet. I have not even seen a boss yet. That is the level I'm currently on. Definitely going for another round here. Let's go. So I'm obviously just scratching the surface, and it's already like, man, this is nice. And I love that it's letting me learn organically as well. Oh, the roots. That's what it looks. That's awesome. The roots, when they get to that point, is just, that's how you can tell the roots took over, is because they wrap them up and suck them down to the ground there. Is there any goblins up yet? No, it doesn't look like it, so. Yeah, I'm going to save the Oblivion for a goblin camp, because those goblin leaders tear me apart. Unless I get lucky and see really, really nice gear, they give me a hard time. And as I was mentioning, I love that the game lets me learn organically, and what I mean by that, it's not... The tutorial system was literally like, what, 2 minutes? Like, it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Oh, there's a goblin camp. Gotta get rid of that. You know, it's just letting me just mess around and have fun, and... Oh, adjacent means I can do it that way, too. Nice. It's like... The game is just mostly like, listen, this is what you need to know to just get going. After that, just go. Just go and play it. Play my game. You have a basic understanding now. Just play it as it is. You'll get it. And that's a sign of a very, very well done game. There's no defense on that. I like my defense. I like my defense. You know, that's the thing, is I'm learning. You know, the game's like, okay, you're gonna see what works, what doesn't work, what's powerful, what's not powerful, what stats to look out for. It's very friendly with trial and error, because you can just do a bunch of stuff. Like, even what was it, the mountains, when you get into like a 9 grid, was like, oh, this transforms. The game didn't tell me it was going to do that. It just did it. It let it stay in the background and let me find that out for myself. You know, and the game could have had a tutorial that said, oh, if you do this, it's going to do that. And it could have blew the tutorial out of... You know, it could have bloated the tutorial into, instead of the 2-minute thing it was, into like a 15, 30-minute thing. And from what I can tell, and they agree, obviously, because they did it this way, it just wasn't necessary. Just give me the very basic rundown of what this is about, and let me run with that. You know, because that's the thing, is people are able to pick up things intuitively like that. They are more than able to do that. Just let them run with it. people learn by getting their hands in there, letting them roll the dice, play the game, whatever analogy you want to use. You know, I value defense so much, I'm not going to put this on just because it doesn't have defense on it. I don't know if it's wise to put that much value on defense, but I'm going to do that. Like, that doesn't have defense and the other one does, I'm keeping that. No defense? Alright, keeping what I got. Because it seems like I'm taking too much damage in one go a lot of the times. And the defense stat seems to mitigate that greatly. You know, on top of other stats, don't get me wrong, defense isn't the only thing. You know, my vampirism is helping, and the regen is helping. But the defense is at the core of it, so that the other stats that I have are able to get a chance to actually help me out. It helps me survive long enough to make them do something. And allow them to actually perform the stuff they're supposed to. You know what I should have done? I should have waited for one attack and see what the damage difference was there. Take a second to make sure I get these mountains down. I thought I would have had enough for a grid there, but I guess I was one off. Yeah, I went from 5 to 3 there. And I went from 28 to 30. So, as I guessed, it's just a flat reduction of the damage you take per hit. If they would deal... If I have, what, 35 defense. So if they're going to deal 40 damage, then I'd only take 5. So that makes sense. Simple, straightforward, to the point, no complex formulas. Because there's enough going on. There's enough going on to where you don't need that. Well, gargoyles just start popping up randomly. Okay. Alright, hold on. I need to see if I can place this somewhere. Why is that showing up like a place there? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's a good spot. I'm actually past the halfway point here. I still have 3 potions. I actually completely forgot about potions. Because this, the thing that's great about this is that they need... Developers need to look at this game and take from it that, hey, you can leverage the fact that it's digital in a computer game that can take care of so much stuff for the players. Oh, there we go. I think that's a big upgrade. Oh, and it has defense. My favorite set, defense. I wasn't even looking at that. I was looking at the damage to all the AoE effect there. Oh, that creature had a lot of items, and they're all garbage though, unfortunately. But it still gives me a positive, even though those are all garbage. It helps turn more items into resources, so there's still a positive aspect for me. So again, that interworking. Ooh, wait a minute. 1 less defense, but it has regen and the same damage. But it has regen. I don't think the damage at all is worth it. I think the regen's are better. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. This doesn't have regen or vampirism, but it has evasion. That could be a very nice defensive ability to have. I'm at full. I got 3 potions. Let's keep rocking. Let's go. I still don't quite know what that is. Oh, the living... Oh, the living roots. So the living roots affects it, so you don't have to go all the way down. You just have to get to this point. Got it. Okay. Nice little visual aid there. Although that one hit only got to like this close to it. That's like, didn't quite get there. Oh, that's just an obvious straight upgrade. Oh, another treasury. Nice. a big damage upgrade and only at the cost of 2 defense. I think that's worth it. I mean, I love defense, don't get me wrong, but I have to balance that out sometimes with, if it's only like a couple that I'm losing, then, hey, less defense. But hey, I have defense. Yes, you do. I guess I'll use you since combined. Ooh, 20% evasion. Not that much damage loss. Yeah, let's go with that. I think I'm getting pretty geared out right here. I think I'm looking good. I think I'm looking good to actually like take out a boss. Maybe I might be in boss range potential. Ooh, attack speed. Yeah, I'll keep the evasion. If it was the same damage but just the attack speed was different, I probably would have swapped it out there. But less damage, yeah. Okay, 100 more HP, attack speed, and regen. I'm gonna replace that. I did lose a couple points of defense there. But again, some defense is not going to outweigh everything if it has like significant stat upgrades. Do I want harpies? I think I'm okay with harpies. So I think I want this here. I think there. I love this. There's so much strategy happening at once. This is... I definitely see why this is getting a lot of hype. Alright, hold on. Just give me a second. And the pause ability is also just fantastic, obviously. That's a big attack speed upgrade. Huge. Alright, I can Oblivion a Goblin Camp. I'm going to do it. Okay. A road lantern can go there. Alright, let's keep it rolling. Whew, wiped out that gargoyle quickly. I don't understand what the blood clot actually is. Like, I know what a blood clot is, but what is a blood clot enemy supposed to be exactly? Well, actually, I don't know if I really want to think about it too much. Ugh. Is there any other goblin camps? I am coming up on a goblin. But it looks like it's only one goblin. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'll save that, because that Oblivion is very valuable. For, again, just wiping off goblins off my path as a leader. But I am wrecking their face. Oh, I am doing very well. Imagine what my character's going to be able to do once I unlock these other slots here. That's going to be bonkers. What I'm going to be able to manage, I think. Alright, let's get this going. Is there another camp I just don't see? No. Okay. Yeah, I see no reason to stop. Let's go. This might be the run. This might be my first boss. My first boss loop. No, the attack speed's too good. Like, HP is a good thing to have, don't get me wrong. Like, that is a couple hundred HP, but HP is not nearly as important as other stats. It doesn't have quite the same weight to it. I thought that said defense 11. That would have been maybe, but no. Okay, so it has regen, counter, damage to all. I wonder if that damage to all adds on top of the... I'm trying to think. Because if my current weapon has 27 to 41. But does the damage to all stat include the enemy that you're single targeting, or is that only to other enemies? So... I don't know. think I have to experiment and just try and see what that looks like. Cemetery can go there. And, okay. So I'm going to pay attention here. 51, 55, 44, 55. I don't know. Where am I getting other damage? That must be what... Oh, magic damage is 7. Okay. So like 44 probably adds in the magic damage as well. But even that, like the top end would be 32. Would be 39. Like this says 26 to 38, so that's plus 6. So that magic damage cannot be included in that, can it? Oh wait. I also get base damage from my fists as well. That's right. I think the only way I'm going to solve that mystery is if I find a weapon that has like the same damage to it, but doesn't have the damage to all stat. I think that's what I would need to figure out what's going on there. I think right there. Alright. There's a goblin camp. Get rid of that. Came and spawned a goblin. Perfect. Okay. Is it... Wait, is that boss? Is that a boss? Wait a minute. What is that? I don't think I quite got the bar up there yet, so... This isn't nothing, right? No. 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 Okay. A regen, but no counter, but decent damage upgrade. And higher regen. Damage to all slowly. I think it's worth it. So that 26 to 38, and this is plus 5 and plus 9. So I expected to go to 31 and 47. Yeah, yep, perfect. So that is simply purely the weapon, because all I did was look at the weapon. The damage to all was 2 less, and if that was accounted for in this stat anyway, then there would not have been 31 to 47. So at least as far as these stats are concerned, oh, they do separate it. It's right there. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I just need to learn how to read. Uh-oh. It just got real. Alright, let's go. When this bar is filled, appear on the campfire tile. So there's a lot of stuff just happened here. Incursion radiates a powerful energy to devour space and time itself. It is time to face the destiny of this world. Okay. Let's go face the destiny. As soon as I make my way around the path. Hold on. I am playing Loop Hero here. Yeah, that has to get replaced. It's, I lose the attack speed, but I get the evasion, I get the defense. I think that's worth it. I think it's worth it. Alright, keep that. Oh, those evasions are killing me. You know, now that I'm looking at it, 63. Do I have a chance to crit? I was just about to say in the single attacks, it's staying within this range, and this is separate, so this must not account. It must not count towards the enemy you're currently striking single target damage for. But then I just did like 63 damage to the treasure chest, and it's like, are there crits then? That must be what I'm missing. So no and no. Okay. Because knowing how the stats actually work is also kind of important in a game like this, so. Wait, why is it? Why is it asking if I want to leave? I thought I was going to fight a boss. I'm pretty sure I thought it was going to be the screen was just going to pop up with a battle and a boss is going to appear. I'm going to hit stay. Because I'm at decent health. I don't think I even hit the campfire regen. And I have potions. Okay, as I thought. Oh. Alright, as I thought, it gives you a chance to leave before you face the boss in case you're in dire straits. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, and here's that big bad skeleton. How? How is this even possible? That's right. You didn't develop me like the rest of the world. Haven't I? Do you really don't think so? What are you talking about? I'm standing right in front of you. I consumed all of your reality. Every one of its elements now rests in a separate pocket dimension. Spaces, living beings, information, even memories, they shall remain there until entropy does its work, turning everything into a uniform static mass. Along with you, of course. You're insane. So? What? So I don't care. Well, so what do we have here? I see. You found a way to interact with other pieces of your reality, to organize, combine, and merge them. But how? I don't see any exceptional talent or knowledge in you. Wow, thanks. Sideburn there. You hardly even understand what is happening, right? I'll tell you what's happening. A pile of bones is butchering my word and thinks it can get away with it. You're already doomed and you know it. Perhaps you're just the first in a series of systematic errors, a problem I must learn to solve. Let's not waste any time then. I don't think you're capable of feeling regret, but I'm about to change that. I love the space theme and like their body. Like their skeleton is here, but you can see space intertwined inside their cloak. That's a cool design. Even their attack is like space attacking you somehow. What is this stat here? 5? Whoa. I'm not sure I'm gonna beat them unless I get lucky with those evasions. I healed. Come on! Evade! Oh my god, I got so lucky. Nonsense, this is impossible for so many reasons. I can't even begin to tell you them all. It looks like he's vomiting space. That's awesome. I don't understand. Now put everything back like it was before. I can't. I've already completed my task. Even if the result is not perfect. You are in no position to refuse, you sack of bones. He's already received everything I could gather. I just wanted to see how our crusade against the universe would end. To witness what would come of it. My presence is no longer required. I was just curious. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to know what would happen. Can't you understand that? That's why the universe had to go off and die and be squashed into a nothing ball of nothing. I wanted to know. What a reason. Who is he? I get it. You're connected somehow, right? That's why. You will find out soon enough. This anomaly will not escape his attention. Now my explanations would be meaningless to you. So spare me your wheezing and just die. That sack of bones is telling the truth. I have a long journey ahead. I will build my whole world from scratch if I have to, and the skull of that monster will be the first brick in its foundation. Achievement unlocked. Just starting out. So, did I just literally kill the main antagonist that was showing in the beginning of the game? And the game's like, yep, that was the first boss. Good luck! Really? Seriously? That was just the first boss. The main evil of the game that you were showing me. That's just the first boss. Don't worry about it. Okay, then. Can I click? Alright, so you can keep going or stay. I'm gonna stay. Okay, so the boss is complete. I got a couple of legendary level 10 items I'm going to take a quick look at and probably just immediately equip. It actually has a lower defense stat. I'm surprised. The max HP is higher, but the evasion's lower, the defense is lower. But it has vampirism, so that's probably better for my defense overall. This has better AoE. Has 10 defense, which the other one doesn't have, so that's a straight upgrade. Slightly lower regen, but that 10 defense is more than worth it. Okay, I thought it would just end the loop thing I'm doing, but they're like, nope, you just get some items, you can keep going. Ooh, flesh golem. That looks like a big baddie. I probably should have left the map. Oh well, we're here. Let's keep going. Oh wow. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop everything. Okay. That's a no, but what's the rest of this? That's a maybe. That's a maybe. 2 defense. I don't know, the amount of damage I'm getting hit for, I don't know if the defense... I don't know if 2 defense means anything anymore. Yeah, I'm just going to equip that. This might still be better. Let me see, though. It has the attack speed, but no magic damage, which I think is okay. 1 less there. I think... Yeah, I actually think I'm going to do that. So... This gives me 2 more defense, and it gives me attack speed, and it gives me damage. So it's just a straight upgrade. Okay. Alright then, that was absolutely insane. I'm not actually going to equip that on the field here. There's already enough enemies. And I already used all my potions, unfortunately. Do I even have room for this? I kinda do. Will I actually make it back around? That's the question. Is my regen high enough? Are my defenses high enough? And is my evasion lucky enough? That's the only reason I beat that boss. It was just my evasion was proccing, and I got very lucky as a result. Because those 200 plus damage attacks, it was just, if I was hit by all of them, I would be dead. But definitely, RNG was in my favor that time. Oh, those flesh golems. But man, they drop good stuff. So the attack speed's nice, but I want to keep the vampirism, I think. Well, this has higher evasion, and attack speed. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. And a counter's nice, evasion. I don't think that's actually defensively better. Oh man, it's just so much. I don't know. I'm teetering on the edge of life and death here. Ooh, that was a... Did I crit? That's a big damage upgrade. I don't think it's worth it. It's not quite as much as I would hope for. And it's not worth the air stats I give up. And 20% attack speed. But the evasion of vampirism. Yeah, those defenses are just too important right now. I need those layers. I need the evasion. I need the defense. I need the vampirism. They all are working in tandem to keep me alive. It seems like the base rings and armor have certain things. Like the first stat is going to dictate how the item looks by the looks of it, from what I can tell. So they even have those kind of visual aids for you to where just by looking at it you can tell certain things about it. They really did think of a lot of things that make sense just by intuition and looking at it. Very well done design there. Oh. That's like the only place I can pop it. No, there we go. I can go there. It looks like I should survive this loop, actually. Yeah, a couple slimes shouldn't be any problem. I can pop these down now. Because I'm probably not going to go for another loop, so that's probably fine. Oh, Mimic, get out of here. I'm actually gaining HP, so that's good. So, it'd probably be best there. And there we go. Come on, keep evading. I wonder how much I'll regen. Do I dare even think about going for one more? That's the other aspect too, is like, why is there a decision? You know, think about that. Like, why do I even have a decision? Why wouldn't I just naturally keep going until my character dies? Because there's really no downside to my character dying. Other... Oh, that's a good defense set, but the other one I have is already good. You know, there's no real downside except that I'd be worried about losing my resources. Right? So they even tie that in, like, there's no point to where dying has any real permanent impact, but they still tie in making every loop a very big decision because you don't want to lose these resources because that's how you're going to build up your camp. Again, just very well thought out. So I'm guessing those are golems. And they're very dangerous. I do get 2 potions. And I have decent stats here, but the enemies are just getting tougher and tougher, and I'm not sure. I'm like, if I had these open, I had these equipped, maybe I could keep going because my power of my character would be enough to withstand this, but I don't think as it is now, I don't think I'd survive another loop. Or it would be at least extremely, extremely risky to try. I've already killed the boss. I have tons of resources. It's a huge gamble to try. I'm going to retreat and keep everything. Everybody listen, the Lich is dead. The curse has been lifted. But... What Lich? And what curse? I believe you, of course, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You don't remember the dead sorcerer? The one in the fur coat, holding the scepter, all shrouded in star nebulas, floating around above the world on his shining wings and eating it piece by piece? That's strange. Everything looks the same around here, but why? I guess he's not the only reason for this darkness, then. The skeleton mentioned him. Whoever he is, he must have something to do with the obliteration of the world. Probably. Since I have no other option but to continue my expeditions. You've beaten the big baddie. Keep playing. You're just scratching the surface. Absolutely wonderful. Ooh, in these dire times, your duty to offer help to the needy can only be built next to a field kitchen and unlocks a new class rogue. And this is the refuge. So I wonder if that's tied to the equipment slots that I can equip. I wonder if the class determines what exactly is open and closed. I can unlock a smithy. Which lets me start out with basic gear. And the ability to craft tools for the camp if the supply depot is built. Which, that's up here. So I need a gymnasium first. It looks like I should have enough to do both. Is that right? That's it looks like I do. Yeah. It looks like I should, yeah. So I think I can do I'll do these 2 first. No, wait a minute. That can be built anywhere. That can be built anywhere. This has to be built next to a field kitchen. And the field kitchen is this. So I can wait. Upgrade. Dismantle or upgrade? 10% to unlocks the blood groove. Oh. Okay. Okay, gotcha. So this can only go here. So I have to kind of make sure I don't use up those 2 slots for something else. So I can build a smithy here. I think I'll do it right there. By the anvil of the 7 seas, it's a small forge. Yo ho ho, you have no idea how I've missed the heat and furnace of the smell of metal. We'll have some good tools now, you can be sure of it, lad. You'll even be able to use something during those trips of yours. You're quite enthusiastic, something tells me you're not a stranger to seamanship. Shiver me hammers, how did you know? It doesn't matter though. You're right, don't worry, I'll prove to you that these hands can hold a hammer as good as they can hold a helm in a storm. And for a dozen days in a row if needed. Alright then. Yep, I can build a gymnasium. Awesome. Let's go. So that's how it works. Instead of remembering something, you can just learn it again. That's a nice trick. There's no ill intent. Without education, our world would be left to the savages. You too could learn a few things, though. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. Nah, I already know all I need to. Leave learning to the kids. Your first lesson, learn to like learning. That would make life easier for the both of us. Given the type of game this is, yeah. Learn to like learning, because that's what you're going to be doing a lot of. So, to gain special traits after killing monsters unlocks the village card. And this one unlocked, it was just gear, it wasn't like a card or something. I already killed you, get out of here. Chapter 2. Oh, a new board to start going after. Okay. Bonus resources. Okay. So the enemies are going to get stronger, but I'm going to get access to more resources too, so that'll be good. And I would imagine I'm also going to get access to stronger equipment as I get, face stronger enemies. First they'll feed you, then they'll make you work. Heal 15 plus 5 times the loot number HP upon entering gives you a quest. Nice. Okay. I'm going to keep the grow because I need... This only works off these, so those 2 work in tandem. I'm going to keep that up. I'm going to keep those. And I have to keep... So I'm at the... That would be the minimum. Oh no, because I can do that, and then I can do that. I think I'm going to get rid of the treasury. It doesn't seem worth it. And... Do I want to knock one of these out? I think I want to keep all of these. I'm going to try that. And we're going to try Chapter 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, so that's how that works. It spawns a bunch of basic gear at the start. Perfect. Alright, so... Start that there. Start that there. What effect did it just give me? Wait, what? Heroes, health, and experience points. Wait, I get experience points now? Was that a thing that I wasn't paying attention to before? Spawning a slime. I guess I'll put that there. Because I want to enter it, right? Yeah. I don't know what that status effect is. Oh, minus 1 times 0.3 defense. Interesting. Okay, I put it. Well, I want to put a grove on or before? I think here. Yeah, because then I could put a blood grove there, and that would affect all these tiles. So I think that's where I want it, and I would have just healed. So that makes sense to me. I think I'll put this there, kind of like heal again. Quest done. Do I even know what my quests are? Like, I'm just getting quests, but I have no clue what they are. I wonder, because if I can like affect things and know what my quest is, I think that would be helpful to know what tiles I want to put down. Okay. Oh, that must be the quest indicator. I don't know why I just keep building groves there. Fine, why not? I feel like putting anything in between those is safe because I have the 2 villages and they're both going to heal me. So there's no reason not to. A bandit camp. Wait, what's this? Masters of trading their poverty for someone else's life. That's pretty good. Spawn a bandit on an adjacent tile every 2 days. Okay. Bans for villages appears for every 2 village tiles. So let's get rid of that because that's bad, it sounds like. And I don't want them spawning like crazy. I didn't get rid of it before the enemies spawn there, but it'd give me a chance to see what the combat with them is like and how difficult they are anyway. So the quest I pick up must be that's basically saying there's going to be an enemy that appears later on down your loop, and that's what you're going to kill, and you're going to get. So it's going to spawn an enemy probably, right? I don't even know all the stats on it. I just saw that it's 1 defense higher and there's a bunch of stats, so might as well just equip it. Bleeding. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to keep the regen on. Yeah. Vampirism or evasion. But it has magic damage, so I think I'm going to equip the damage. I definitely see. This is a very nice game that you can just relax with. Because you're not making a bunch of decisions here. It's, you know, that the battle is taking place as you're going. But you are just putting stuff on the side, and it kind of pauses as it needs to, and it's very... There's decisions to be made, but they're not, like, very complicated ones. You know, you might take a second or two, you might even take a minute, but that's about it. Let's talk to this bandit. Hey, I don't remember you. You don't look like a local. That's because I'm not. I see you, and you think you can just wander these parts without consequences? Times are rough, you know. Nothing to bite, nothing to wet one's whistle, and we have to deal with strangers who have no sympathy for our poverty. What? You think you're better than us? No? Did I guess right? Is this the correct answer? Because I'm getting the impression this is one of those cases where my answer has 0 influence on what happens next. Well, you've got insight. It's the only thing they'll keep. And it's the only thing you will keep today. Where did this come from? Why did I get this randomly? I didn't kill him yet. Whatever. Well, they're very weak. Or maybe I just started out with very good gear. Come to think of it, murders and thieves are part of this world too. If my mission is to return everything back to normal, should I be happy they're appearing again? On the other hand, being disgusted with murder and theft is also part of this world, so I guess I don't owe it to anyone to be happy. Hey, a couple philosophical questions there. Make you think, do I want everything back to normal? Are there some things that are probably better off just staying away from everybody? You know what I mean? Does that affect that more? I think that placement's better. Okay. don't know what the XP is going to do. Like, what... I think I'm getting XP points from the quest. But what's going to happen if I get enough to level? That's going to be interesting to find out. Again, another system that's popping up that I had no idea was there. But it's like, oh, yeah, oh, here's this too, by the way. So it's like, oh, cool. That's a... Oh. Oh, it's the same defense. Never mind. But it has attack speed and counter. Yeah, let's go. Looks like one of those painter things, you know. Bob Ross it. Happy Trees. I watched Bob Ross a little bit as a kid. Not a lot, but it definitely caught my attention once in a while when it was on. Looking back at it now, and I looked at it a bit when he passed, because I was like, oh, Bob Ross. Actually, when did he pass? I don't remember. I just remember looking up stuff about him recently, and looking back on it and what he was able to do, it's like, oh my god, how is he doing that just on the fly? Just like, quickly and easily. And you don't even have to try it. You just know that if you went to attempt it and you don't have that intrinsic skill or you haven't worked on that kind of skill, and you would just try and follow his directions, it just, you know it wouldn't turn out anywhere near, anywhere close. I mean, you'd be lucky if you didn't end up with a you know, big smudge on the thing and there was anything resembling a happy tree. Very cool person though. Like, skill is amazing. Very relaxing to listen to. Definitely would be what? Okay. It'd definitely be nice if he was still around, but you know, unfortunately, it is what it is. No special weapons, but they are growing in level, so that's all that matters. Let's get another village here. I think actually I would have liked it right here. I shouldn't have filled that spot with something. That's a good spot actually, right after these. Yeah, there we go. And I can keep these tiles in check. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay. Yeah, I thought I would like this game, and it's just definitely like, yeah, there's a lot of appeal here. It's a lot of the same things that make me happy that I'm playing Last Epoch. Last Epoch is, I mentioned before, you know, Path of Exile is good, but I just don't. I tried playing that game. Like, I really tried playing that game. It is just so time intensive. It's a huge time sink to play that game. I feel like I could die if I go again, but I think I haven't done enough to really justify this run, so I think I'm going to just make it go again. So I was really, you know, as I'm playing Path of Exile, I'm like, man, this is good, but why can't there be something that's a little bit less intense as far as time necessarily, and a little less as well, a little less complex as far as that is concerned with the systems? Because yeah, you'll learn it and you'll get it as you go, but it's a bit much. Like, it's a huge steep learning curve. I think the evasion's worth it. I don't know, we'll see. What is going on? I was not paying attention. Was this... What are you? What are you... Why do you keep... Okay. I don't know what that enemy was and why it just kept evolving, but that was scary. I was like, am I gonna die right here? I actually think no, not that one. So that one I think is, yeah, evasion and more defense. Yeah, that's a big yes. Let's get these rocks up here. Suburbs. Wait, what's this? You start to remember big stone houses, but not the people that inhabited them. Can only be placed next to other suburbs if they are present. Increases the experience gained by killing enemies by 1. So this is the first one, so I can place it wherever. But once I place it, then other suburbs can only be placed next to it. I guess I'll start this in the corner down here. That's weird. Okay. Battlefield. So I think I want to place this here. Wheat fields. Haystacks look like a cozy place to rest, but you have to move on. Can only be placed next to a village. Plus 20 HP to healing in adjacent villages. Spawns a scarecrow every 4 days. Okay. I guess here's a good spot. Because it's right before something, or maybe right here. I think right here. Okay. So now 35, yeah, it says 55. Okay. Spawns a scarecrow. If only I was brave. Ooh, okay. What do we got here? The vampirism is nice. I should have checked the air one first, because this is also a weapon. Yeah, I should check that first, because I think I'm gonna prefer the defense over the evasion. Although evasion is a good stat. I've learned that evasion is a very good stat. So. Did I level? And missed it? I didn't level, did I? I must have leveled. No. Okay. Yeah, that's a... I think I have to... So I think the crown over its head when I was looking at the board is identifying that as a quest mob. Right? It has to. Oh, come on, stop evading. Okay, there it is. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... 16? It's hard to say exactly where the tiles are. Definitely getting a little low. I still have potions, though. Well, that's just better, so... Okay. Every 10. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I got a little while before that happens. The villages and the campfire are definitely very nice for healing. Oh! Hero traits. I must have leveled, and that must have appeared, and I wasn't paying any attention to it, and I completely missed it. Whoops. Choose a new trait. This probably would have been much better if I had noticed this earlier. Every counterattack will restore 1.5 times the loop number you're on. Skilled armor. Defense is increased by 1 after every loop. After each. So this one will be good no matter how many times or when you activate, but this is only good earlier as you activate it because it's only based on a loop. And I just went past the loop. Dominant mass. Damage increased by 20% of defense value. I think I like that one. Because I like defense, and if defense is going to help my attack, then I think that's a very good thing to go for. This looks okay, but I don't know. This area right here is a little sketchy. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a risk. I think I'll go for it. What did it just have? Predicted. Gets a predicted effect at every 3 seconds, which allows it to ignore incoming damage once. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I kind of wish they gave me a higher speed option. I would love this to have like even like a 5 times option to just have it, you know, go crazy fast. Maybe it'll unlock once I get farther in the game. I have no clue. Hello, Ozdi. Ozdai? I'm not entirely sure how to say that. Ozdi? I'll say Ozdi. How are you doing today? I think I'm going to put this... Grove... Where do I want to put this? I think here. I should put it right there because I got all the lanterns there covering it. Leah from Lunar. Oh, hey, how's it going? I don't know if you've been watching for a while, or when you popped in, but... Let me see. I know I'm kind of losing track here. Let me just... Oh, higher defense by losing. Okay, let that go. It's going, just came in. What game is this? This is Loop Hero. So... Been playing for a few hours. In fact, I'm probably closing in on the 3-hour mark. Yeah, I'm at 2 hours and 50 minutes or so. And yeah, let's wear that one. It's kind of hard to explain as far as like to describe the type of game, but essentially, your hero, this is your starting point, is going around the loop. And every single time you go around it, this number goes up, which is the enemy level. And you're also getting cards as you kill enemies. The combat itself is completely taken care of by the game. As you see, there's no input here. I don't do anything. It's just they do their attacks. And your damage and stuff is all based on your equipment. And as you kill them, you get cards. And these cards all do different things. Like these medals give me HP every time a new day repeats. These rocks give me more HP. These villages actually grant me HP restoration and grant me quest. But they also spawn bandit camps, which spawns enemies. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like a... It almost has like a civilization feel to it, to where it has that addictive nature, like... You just have to keep going one more round, one more turn kind of thing. And it has those RPG elements. It has these other board building elements. It has a deck building element. In other words, a lot going on. Seen something back in the day. I would imagine something similar has been done a few times. This one's done very well. This is my first day playing it. I am very much enjoying it. I actually just completed destroying the first boss about a half hour ago. Ooh, nice defense upgrade. No other stats, but... Not with deck building, but the loop and everything being based off the gear you get. Let me just pop this down. Pop that down. That's freaky. I'm telling you right now, if I came across a scarecrow that was holding a big knife anywhere, I'm turning around immediately. I'm just imagining that. Nope. That's the big nope. No thank you. Nope. Have a good day. If the game you're talking about, if you enjoyed that at all, I would highly recommend this. And the tutorial, I think I played it. The tutorial I went through was literally just, here's your hero, you loop, there you go. The tutorial ended, it said, okay, now start playing. You'll figure the rest out as you go. It's definitely one of those learn as you go games. And it's very aware of that, which, that's fine. It works very well with that. Very Jeepers Creepers of them. Yeah, that was a good design. I like that enemy design. They gave that a very nice creepy feel to it. A high HP, high potion count. Getting a little sketchy here, but you know what? One more time. One more time. New quest. Alright, I got... Uh-oh. Okay, this... I'm telling you right now, that's bad. I don't know if I'm gonna live. Yeah. The regular goblin, I made the goblin leader mad now, so they're enraged. Okay, wait a minute. I might be doing okay here. Attack speed plus 24% versus 4%. Immediately equip. That's definitely a lot of RNG, though. Well, not a lot, but you're definitely gonna notice some runs that you do. You're getting gear, and it's like very much, wow, this is awesome. I think I am gonna equip that. And then other times, you're just not getting certain things, and it's like, ah, this isn't going well. Alright. Ooh. Oh no. Yeah, never mind. I was looking at something else. Double treasure chest, come on. What is going on? Did they... After every 4 attacks, a splinter breaks off, dealing damage. Oh, those actually fight back. Okay. Evasion? Yeah, we'll wear that. Magic damage? Nah, attack speed. Vampirism. Okay, yep, we'll do that. And... no, I'll keep what I got. I'm surprised I took them out first. I would have expected the blood clot to go down. I also like the option, like I said, for this to be higher, I would also like the option to... What is this battlefield? 20% chance for all enemies to have a soul to be reborn as ghosts after being killed. Oh, that's what the battlefield does. That's why that's there. Oh, that's what that was. That monstrosity was because it got turned into a ghost. Gotcha. Alright. Pop those down, and let's take out this goblin camp here. Thank you very much. I don't know if I'm gonna live. I don't know if I'm gonna survive this loop. Alright. I watched for that one. Now let me see. I obviously leveled. Let's see if we can get a trait here that actually is gonna help me survive. 10% chance upon hit of stunning target for 1 second. Not bad. 10% chance to keep the card after placing it on the tile. Does not work for golden cards. If your HP drops below 30%, below 30%, your regeneration will be doubled. I'm pretty sure that's already... Yeah, yeah, it's under 3. Yeah, so this would automatically kick into effect right now. But my regeneration's only at 1.2, so is 2.4 really going to do anything? I think stunning is going to have more of an impact for me. Oh yeah, road lantern, thank you. Let's get that here. It's going to decrease the spawn rate of monsters. The attack speed's nice, but the vampirism is too good, I think. Yes, this is definitely not looking good. One way or another, this is the end, I think. Oh, Oblivion. That actually might save me. I'm gonna stop time for a second. And I want to pop that up, pop that up. I can take out one of the enemies here. And I think it's, yeah. I took that out because it looked like one of those blood golems were there, and I'm pretty sure that would just straight up killed me. Okay, never mind. I died anyway. You still keep 30% of all resources found. Yeah, if I lived, it would have been all but dying. I could have retreated, maybe kept 60%, but... So, this is my camp. Can I build... I can't actually build this. Missing resource. I probably could be able to build it if I left. Oh well. How many times did I die? 3 times, 2 by goblin leaders, 1 for a mysterious reason. Huh! I wonder if that's because I got dealt bleeding damage or something. I think I do want to like change these out a little bit. The village is good, but these don't seem to. The deck building doesn't seem to actually rotate the way I think it does. It seems like there's like a chance that you draw a card. Now, granted, lowering the amount of cards you have probably gives you a better chance to see certain things, but it's not. It doesn't seem like it's actually on a rotation where you just keep drawing and you're guaranteed to see everything and then you just reset the deck. It seems more like everything you have active, there's a chance. And I don't know if certain things are weighted. Like this has like 3 symbols on it. These have like 1 symbol on it. I don't know what the weight is. So I don't know if the game ever tells me or if I just have to find out or look it up or something. These obviously I keep. I think I want to turn those back on. I think I do want to turn those back on. This doesn't seem to still do much. I think I'll keep that down. I think I want to turn on the vampires though. Maybe the vampire. No. I think I want to keep these just like. Okay. It obviously means something with the dots up top. Yeah, something. Again, maybe the game tells me later. Or maybe it's one of those things you just have to look up. Oh, these are symbols here too. I just noticed. Like, these are all full. These are all half. These are all none. These are... I guess it can be any. You know what I wonder? Because this color is the same color as the 1 bar that progresses as the day and night cycle. So I wonder if these have only a chance to appear when you kill an enemy during a certain time of the day. So like this can appear any time of day. These can only appear at night. These can only appear middle of the day, after the noontime. I don't know. Middle of the night, middle of the day. I'm not entirely sure. That's my current guess. Anyway, so thanks for joining me. I am wrapping up though. I usually go for about 3 hours, so I know you just joined to watch, but unfortunately it's just that time where I stop. After this is done, if you want to look back over, I also put these up on my YouTube, so you can always catch those there. I'm going to probably edit this out a little bit as far as condense it up a little bit. I'll probably keep a decent chunk at the beginning because there's a lot of learning there, but towards the end of this, it's more about, okay, well, I got to get to the boss, I got to figure out a couple things, but I just got to kind of grind it out more or less. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I will probably go back. I'm not sure if I'll play this tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll go back to Hollow Knight tomorrow. Heck, I might even play Last Epoch tomorrow. I don't know. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. So thanks for joining me. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.